remind you, if you want to see the 2024 Cardinals in person at State Farm Stadium, a limited number of tickets remain. For more information, visit azcardinals.com/tickets. And we're out here just a little bit before practice now. Got the opportunity to talk to Cardinals QB coach Israel Woolfork. Izzy, first of all, thanks for the time, man.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, man.
How is camp treating you first week and a half? How do you feel about what you're seeing out there?
It's been awesome. Obviously, you go through OTAs and spring ball, and counting down the days to the season starting is finally here. And I think the guys have done a great job, kind of getting in the flow of things and coming on and competing every single day and learning and building and positive stuff.
So Izzy, of course, everyone wants to know, how is Kyler doing? Kyler Murray, of course, how is he developing? How's he progressing in this offense, going from OTAs in the offseason, of course, to right now training camp?
Taking it one day at a time and building on the good and learning from the bad. I think that's been the biggest thing. He's been very consistent on how he has approached work on a daily basis, whether that's on the field, in the classroom, around the locker room, continue to be positive and helping. We got a lot of young guys out there right now, so getting reps with them, building a relationship with those guys, and then continue to get working on a lot of vets. I mean, he only got to practice a couple months last year, so all these reps, walkthrough, and practice and competitive periods have been super important. He's been taking advantage of all the opportunities.
We're talking to Izzy Woolfork. Izzy, everything I've heard, you and Kyler have that sort of relationship where, like, you can bounce some ideas off him but he'll also bounce some back, and it's more of a just like you kind of work together on. Is that a fair way to categorize it?
I think that's perfect, and I think it's super important. I mean, my job depends on Kyler, and Kyler's job depends on me. So the more information I can give him, the more I can help him out. I think that's going to help him out on the field, and the better he plays, the smarter I look at the end of the day. You got to see.
Good thinking right there.
No, but he's out there, and we do stuff in X's and O's on the board in the classroom. We're not out there when the bullets are flying. So he may see something, and he may feel something, and he has a better understanding because he's physically doing it. So if it matches what we do from an offense philosophy and it's what's best for the team, we always take any advice that he can give us because he's very, very – he sees the field very well. He's very smart.
Is he just watching this team last year and watching this team in particular when Kyler Murray was playing, and then – watching him over the last 4 games specifically in the way this offense really took off. Number 1 in the NFL over that 4-week period right there. So much of that had to do, in my opinion, with Kyler Murray going under center and evolving his game and evolving this offense. Number 1, do you agree with that? And number 2, can he build on that?
I agree with that, and I also think he's going to continue to build on it. Our run game is – a lot of it's on the center, and that's what James Conner's very good at. And our keeper game and our movement game is really good from it. And when you're under center, it adds another layer of what the defense has to expect something to happen. And he's a threat. If we do a lot of keeper and boot game, if you don't contain him, he can definitely take off and run. And he's a good mobile quarterback who's really good throwing on the move. So that adds another layer of something you got to prepare for, not only just the run game, but just the movement and the play action shots that he can throw down the field.
And see, for me, I think this is going to be one of the more physical offenses, if not the most physical offense in the NFL. Am I wrong?
I would love that.
You're on board with that.
I would love that. If you can run the ball in this league, you can do a lot of other stuff like that.
It's amazing.
And I think that JG and I think Drew have had a consistent message since we got here last year and how we want to approach and how we want to play. We want to be physical. We want to be smart. And we want to make sure that teams have to come with the right attitude and be really good from an X and O standpoint to stop us, and we don't want to beat ourselves. And I think that starts with mental toughness and also physical toughness.
We're talking to Israel Woolfork. Israel, we talked to Kyler last month. I guess it was a month and a half ago now or whatever. It was late June. He talked about this at the media too, how it's a different dynamic now because even though he's not old, he's older than a lot of these guys on this team. So, like, they naturally come in looking to him as a leader as opposed to being the 22-year-old that's got to lead a bunch of guys in their 30s. Like, what have you seen just in that regard?
I think he's super comfortable in who he is. I think that he's comfortable with us as a coaching staff and where the organization is right now, and he's playing free and he's being free. And Kyler's been in the league a lot of years now, so he has a lot of experience that he can help pass on to a lot of these young guys. He's had success, he's failed at times, and he's built on that. And whether it has to do with the media, whether it has to do with playing on the field, how to prepare for games, just overall his experience is knowledgeable to a lot of young guys, and he's been really good with building and connecting with those guys and sharing that information.
So Drew Petzing is a guy that is fascinating to me. I absolutely love this dude. Okay, I mean honestly, he's one of the smallest guys on the field, yet he's got the biggest football philosophy. I kid you not. And I'm talking about, for me, Izzy, I like the old school. Let's go. Let's hammer this. Let's hammer this guy, and he's got that physical, raw physical mentality. I absolutely love it. Yet he's so cerebral at the same time. Talk to me about your relationship with him. How do you work with him? Did you know him before this? How long have you known him, and what is it like working with him?
I met Drew in 21. I did an internship with the Cleveland Browns with Bill Walsh coaching diversity.
Okay, yeah.
So I got to hang around with the Browns that offseason, do spring, and then do some training camp. And then that's when me and Drew, he was coaching the tight ends at the time. That's when me and Drew first connected. I was coaching college football that year, at that time in 21. In 22, that job opened up in Cleveland, and that's when I got hired. And Drew had moved to quarterbacks, and he wanted me to go in the quarterback room. But our relationship kind of started back then, and we both have different philosophies, but I think we see the game the same way. And I think Drew is just the best characteristic that he has as a coach is like he's very diverse, and he's not the same way. He's going to do whatever's best for the team. And he's so knowledgeable that we can cut you up a million ways. So if this week it looks like this, the next week it look like totally different. So he is very open, and he tries to put the players in the best position to have success. And he has no ego when he's doing that. I know a lot of guys are saying, "Hey, this is my offense. This is what we do. This is how I coach." Drew's looking at, "Hey, what's the best way we can beat this team, and what's the best way for our players to go out there and have success?"
It seems like, and we're talking to Israel Woolfork. I haven't talked to Desmond Ritter yet about this, but we've talked to Clayton Tune and Kyler. They both just glowing recommendations of Drew Petzing too, and it sounds like you're sort of saying the same thing right there. What about the rest of the quarterback room behind Kyler? Like how are Desmond and Clayton Tune looking so far in the rest of that room?
They've been doing a great job. Competition is the best thing for the room.
Yeah.
And they're competing right now, and they have each other's back, and I think that's the biggest thing too. The better they play, the more they push Kyler. The better Kyler plays, the more he raises the elevation of those guys. And I think that as long as we stay together and continue to go out there and compete, those guys will continue to get better every day. I mean, they're learning from each other's success, and they're learning from each other's failure, so I think that helps out too.
So right now, Izzy, what have you seen specifically from Desmond that you like, and what have you seen specifically from Clayton that you like?
Des has a lot of experience. He started 17 games in the NFL.
Yeah.
So his overall command on the offense, his ability to see the field, his ability to go out there and communicate what needs to get done. I think one of the most underrated things is at the line, his cadence. He gets guys to jump off sides. He has a nice
That is a skill, man.
No,
that is a talent, man.
He has some feel and some, like JG would say, some SWAT AV, a little bit of how to do some things. And then Clayton just built upon knowledge from the second year. I mean, he got out there last year, and he got put in some situations that are unfair to some rookies, I think, at times. And the best thing about him is his confidence in who he is as a person, that he built upon that. And he came here this offseason with more knowledge, and he's playing the game faster now. He knows defenses. He knows protections, so he can go out there and play a little free.
Yeah, that Cleveland game was a tough spot to get thrown into, and it didn't seem to rattle him.
No,
Picture.
It was awesome after that. He was like, hey, I know what I got to do to win games in the NFL, and I think that's the worst it's going to get. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to compete. I can't wait for the next opportunity. So you want that from a quarterback.
Izzy, this is great, man. I know you got to practice out there, but thank you so much for the time.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Izzy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's Israel Woolfork joining us right there ahead of Cardinals practice.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.